Hello, guys. This is me, Abu Bakr. I'm here to record next interview challenge with my guest from Mexico. How are you,
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Balanska? Just introduce yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Blanca Sacramento Calderon. I'm from Mexico. I'm an English teacher, and I work mostly with young people and adult people, not with kids. You must have another kind of character to do that. So I work with Vietnam and sometimes with Bangladesh, as well as some countries from Latin America, like Colombia, Nicaragua, but some of the countries from Latin America, and as well as Mexico.
Okay, that's great. So, could you tell me a little bit about your education background? You tell me before you are double master.
Yeah, I have two master's degree actually, and I have the first one is in English and the other one is in technologies applied to education. So it's something different to my career at the university. I am an accountant, but I have never worked as an accountant. So that's why I decided to study a different thing because I love teaching English.
Why some of students, the student life, they are pursue his education in different skills or major. When they join the professional life, they enter to another uh, field they join. I conducted different interviews from last 1 month. So lot of professional, they say our backgrounds or our education background little bit changed from our professional life. So why we are facing these issues?
Well, maybe it's because of their background, as you said. In this case, it's quite different when you study in a public university and a private university or a private school or a public school. So in this case, the programs maybe could be similar, not the same, but similar, but the development it's a little bit different. So in some cases, when you have the opportunity to get better teachers or better resources, you can learn a little bit more than if you are in a public school. So sometimes, even if they are in the same level, even in the same level, they have differences. So they can develop more their skills than the other ones.
Mhm. So you tell me you are providing your services online as a teacher in different countries, especially in Bangladesh and Vietnam. So how do you start online teachings in Bangladesh, in Vietnam?
Well, actually, I was contacted by Facebook. So I was just uploading something, sometimes about my life, sometimes about my classes. And then one teacher asked me to connect with me, in a session to talk about a project that he has. We connected. I remember that it was like, I think that more than 3 years ago. And he contacted me and he told me that he has an international program. And then I started working with him, teaching Vietnamese students living there. And I am here in Mexico. And also in international meetings, I started with international meetings with people mostly from Asia, but there are some people from your country as well, Pakistan, Indonesia, Thailand, sometimes United States, Nicaragua, Brazil, so different parts of the world. And I have the fortune, I feel fortunate because I am a host, an international host, sometimes, not all the time because I don't have time, but
Mhm.
this is what why or how I started. And also with Bangladesh, I have the opportunity to join some classes with some teachers that ask me to join their classes to give feedback to their students. So it's a rewarding thing.
So
Yeah.
what do you think? A lot of craze, especially in Asia, in Pakistan and India and Bangladesh or Vietnam region for the learning the English language, and rather than Latin America, in Brazil, in Chile, and in this country, people didn't have a craze for the English. Because I talked with a few days back with the one guy from Brazil. He said, I didn't find out someone they speak the English. So it's so difficult for me. If I wanted to practice, definitely I enroll in the academy. I apply online, find out for a partner to speak with them. So it's not easy for me to find someone face to face. Same like an Asian. So why?
Well, in this case, I think, well, that happens here in Mexico. People are afraid to speak with other people from their country, maybe because they feel afraid to be ashamed or to be criticized. So that's why they don't find people. Even for me, it's difficult to speak with my colleagues that they are English teachers.
Mhm.
And it's difficult for me to speak with them in English. Even if I want to, they don't want to. They speak in Spanish. And it's something that maybe it's a little bit difficult because they don't have the practice. Being a teacher and being a speaker in English is not the same. So you are prepared as a teacher, you are prepared to teach, to give your class, but you are not prepared to think about your answers when you have a conversation. So maybe
Mhm.
that is the most difficult thing,
Mhm.
and they don't want to take the challenge. They feel afraid, maybe.
Okay. So my next part was the question why in Asian peoples they have a lot of craze to learn the English language rather than the Latin America.
Well, I think that English is a universal language. So, in all over the world, you can find someone speaking English and you can communicate. If you are going to travel, if you are going to, if you want to get a job, if you want to just talk with someone or play video games, you can do it in English. So, even if you don't speak Spanish, or even if I don't speak Arabic, so it's the same. We can connect because we can speak in English. So I think this is the a great opportunity for Asian people to connect to different parts of the world. And I have had some students that were preparing themselves to travel to Canada or travel to Australia, travel to United States,
Mhm.
or also to London to study or to work. So it's
Mm.
a great opportunity when they study the language.
I'm living in Asia, so that's why I'm so near with those people. Easily I contact with them, easily find out those groups. So that's why I understand the craze of these people. Latin America is so much away from my area, so that's why I didn't have a connection with these people. I didn't judge the craze of the English on those countries. So this is the point. Yeah, exactly. Well, so what inspired you to pursue your career in the teaching English?
Well, I love I love the language. I love the way to communicate. I love accents. I love to listen to different accents. That's why I joined to different international meetings with different people because I love listening to them, and then I try to do the same, try to pronounce the words the same as them. If I am speaking with someone in Vietnam and they are talk to me about some beautiful places in their countries. Obviously, their names are in Vietnamese, so I try to pronounce the same as them and in different languages. But the thing is that I love to be able to communicate with other people, and I love the same for my students. I always tell them, if you want to get a better job, if you want to travel to another place, or if you just want to speak with another person in another part of the world, you can do it through English.
Exactly.
So that's why.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We are in same page. I totally agree with you. So my goal is at least conduct 100 interviews from different part of world, not just target a one country because it's easily I understand the one country or the Asian people. If I'm in contact with the Indians or Pakistanis, so it's easy for me to communicate with them. If I approach different part of world or different accents, so that time I face a little bit issue. So that's why I wanted to overcome my that's problem. So I push myself for this goal to achieve hundreds into at least. Okay, so how do you handle the levels of the English because you are teaching in university also and high school level? So how do you handle that stages?
Well, when you work face to face with students, even if you have your planning done, it's impossible for you to follow the planning the same way that it's written. So actually, until you are in front of your class, in front of all the students, and they have different features, different personalities. So it's impossible for you to follow the plan. So I work by ear, like we can say that. So I analyze my students in the first class. I talk to them, I play with them, and I know as many things as I can in the first class, and also their names. I think that when you learn their names and when you speak to them with their names, it's a show of respect. So they feel respected and they feel involved in the class. So I take a lot of little pieces of information from them since the first class, and then I apply it in my classes. If they are interactive, if they are very active, then I put them to play or to sing or to do different activities. But if all of them are serious or quiet, so I have to think in different kinds of activities, not the same as the other group, because they are totally different and it doesn't work. So that's what I do, and it's a little bit more challenging with high school students, because they don't want to study, they just want to play, they just want to hang out, and it's totally different. And when they are at the university, they feel like more focused in their studies, even
That
if they like to go out, but they are more focused. They are more preoccupied for their studies. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I think it's more easy to convey your message for university level students and they easily get your point. The high level, I think the high school level, it's not too much mature in my point of view. Well, you communicate also with the business managers or international companies. So how you face these challenges in your life? Because at a time you are teacher in university or high school level or online teacher and communicate with the online companies and especially with the business managers also. So how do you overcome or how do you manage your all these activities in one time?
Well, it's a challenge, I have to say that, but it's rewarding at the same time. So if I am working with students from Vietnam, I prepare my classes based on their necessities or on their needs. So it's like if they want to correct their pronunciation, I prepare material with activities related to pronunciation. Or if they just want to speak a little bit more because they are shy or they are not confident, then I try to make or prepare some material according to that. So I make them speak even if they feel afraid. It's like, oh, you can do it. Oh, it's fine. You can do it. It doesn't matter if you have mistakes. So they are building their confidence. They are not just speaking, or they are not just in the class because they have to. It's because they want to. They want to improve. And talking about managers from multinational companies, well, in this case, we use some books specialized in business English according to their level, and it's a great opportunity to practice in their own environment. So they are learning, of course, vocabulary, some grammar, some ideas, some projects, and then I put those projects into their environment. So, for example, if I have someone working in human resources, then
HR.
I have to work the project of the book, but according to the job, according to the activities that person, specifically that person, is doing all day. So it's not just using the book to learn something in the book, but getting the knowledge and then apply it into their own environment. So they can, at the end of the day, they can prepare some presentations, or they can have meetings and they can apply some strategies to become better in communication strategies.
Okay, so could you share with me some of your experience, especially with the manager of the international companies or with the students? especially when you communicate with them from Bangladesh or Latin America also and Vietnam. So, what's the difference you face or experience when you are communicate with them?
I think that the most important problem here is internet, the internet connection.
Hmm.
Sometimes, even if we want to have the class like a normal class, sometimes if they are managers, obviously they work in different companies in different parts of the world, and the internet connection is not as stable as we want to.
Mhm.
So there are some problems related to that, and we manage it by using the WhatsApp. For example, if they have problems with the internet, they send me a message, teacher, I can't hear you very well because the internet is not stable. So in that case, I use my WhatsApp message or an audio, and I tell them what is next. Okay, don't worry, we're working in this page, or we are talking about this topic. So analyze this and then send me an audio telling me what do you think about this, or what are your answers in this case. So I try to fix these problems in order to have like as normal as we can, the class as normal as we can. So but related to communication, I don't think there is a problem, because as a teacher, I use my body language as well to explain some things. If they don't understand, they are always aware that they can ask. So I try to explain them in a different way.
Exactly. From last 30 or 40 days, or every second day, I communicate with different part of worlds. Some of, teachers or university students, I communicate with them. It's really tough for me. I prepare myself before the interview, but still, during interview, sometimes I stuck and sometimes I forget the words and what type of question I ask. So definitely, you must have to prepare yourself when you communicate with from different part of world, and continuously you are teaching students from the Bangladesh, Vietnam, and Latin American, your country, maybe in your region also, and international managers from different part of world or international companies. That's a really tough job. So how do you motivate yourself? You have a lot of tasks from morning to night, and weekend also so tough for you. You don't have a free time. So how do you balance your professional life and your personal life, and how do you motivate yourself for all these projects or work?
That's a good question. So I don't know if I told you before, but in this moment I am working online only. So I don't go out. So I stay at home in my office when I have classes, and when I don't, I am with my children, or sometimes with my husband. So we spend some time together, and we can watch movies, we can watch some videos, or we can just talk about something, and then I continue working. So it's very easy for me to go upstairs to my office and continue working, and then I go downstairs to be with them. So it's a matter of organization. So I try to organize my time, because we have different schedules. We have different time zone as well. So for example, in this moment for you is at night, but for me is in the morning. So I'm starting my day. I will start my classes in a few minutes, and then I will work until certain time. Then I talk to my children, and then I come back to my classes. So I think that it's a matter of organization. If you want to, you can do it. That's the advantage of working online.
So you make a to-do list for your upcoming projects for upcoming days, like you create a timetable or schedule for upcoming days.
No, it depends of the schedule of my students, and if I am available, I can teach them. If I am not, they can wait, or they can find another teacher. But mostly, I organize my time. For example, in the mornings, I work with Vietnam and sometimes with Bangladesh. Then I continue with Mexican students, and then I continue with managers from different companies. And I have like like my time organized in this way, and it works for me. So if someone doesn't have the class or doesn't have the time to stay in the class in that moment, they just call me, and then they let me know, teacher, I'm so sorry, but I can't do it this time because I am working in this project. So please, let's put off the class for the next Friday, or I don't know, something like
Okay,
that. So,
that's really
but we
essential
really
for
good.
you. Yeah, it's really essential for you if you are conduct a different activities of in one day or for upcoming few days. A busy schedule you have, you definitely will manage that in proper way. Otherwise, everything will be mess. Okay, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
how do you attend your online activities from where? You have office in your house, or there's some of your specific room in your home, or you go outside somewhere. There you have buy some place or some area, and like office type. From there you conduct all your activities. Sometimes from home, if you are uh, providing your services from home, so that's a little bit tough. Attend the class and go up. There is some of activities or work are remaining for you, and then again attend the class, something like that. For me, that was so tough. During the Corona period, I was so much struggled when I was providing my services from home. So that was a little bit tough for me. So, how do you handle your activities?
Well, in this case, I have my own office on the top of the house. We have
Mm.
3 floors, so my office on the top. And it was built by my husband because I told him, well, during the pandemic, we have to stop working face-to-face classes and we have to start working at home. And at that time, my kids were studying at the same time online, and it was a mess. Even if they had their own rooms, but it was a mess for the noise. So I asked my husband to build my office on the top of the house, and then it's a quiet place. Now it's my own place, and I don't bother anyone. I start my classes sometimes at 7 or 6 a.m., and they are sleeping. So it's my time to work. So I just go upstairs, and I start working in my own space, in my own place. And if I have to go out, well, in this case, it's because I have a class in another place or at the university. So it's the same. I just go there. I teach in the school, and then I come back, and I have my things here in my office related to teaching.
Okay, that's amazing. So you have a perfect environment in your first or second floor. So that's why you are so much comfort and easily you can conduct all these activities. That's amazing. So what's your experience, especially with the manager? What's the difference between the managers, students, how you communicate with them? It's tough for you.
Hmm. Well, not in this case, because as I told you before, I have children at home and they are grown-ups right now, 20 and 24. So I learn from them. I am updated about music, about series, about everything. So that's why I apply this knowledge with my students, normal students, like maybe at the university, or young students. When they see that I know what they are talking about music or about movies, they feel surprised, because not all the teachers do that. So when I talk about maybe some of their favorite groups or favorite singers, they feel surprised, and the bond starts growing. So we can have a great communication, and they pay more attention to the classes because they know that they are comprehended and they are listened. So it's creating a bond in that case. And when I work with managers, in this case, I have to be more professional. I have to respect their boundaries. I have to respect the work they have, their schedules, and but at the same time, I have to build their confidence to speak freely about their concerns when it comes about the language, but not only the language, but also business.
Mm.
So I have to build more confidence in this case. First of all, the confidence, and then give them the freedom to speak about anything. And they know that I don't say anything. So they are secrets for me. So I am a teacher, but I am also respecting what they say about the company or about the project. So it's a secret. So I don't say anything about it. I am only giving them some feedback how they can improve their skills. So it's quite different.
Amazing. You have a lot of experience in different fields, so that's why easily you communicate with the manager in perfect way. That's amazing. So, what's your advice for the English learners, especially they want to improve, especially the accents or vocabulary or grammar? All these things are, connect with each other's. Without vocabulary, without grammar, I think it's not possible for anyone. They communicate with all over the world in the good accents. So definitely you must have to work on everything. So what's your special advice for the English learner when they are in beginning or when they are initial stage?
So in this case, if I start with the basic levels, we start with vocabulary. Lots of vocabulary activities. This is the first step.
Mhm.
Then grammar as well.
Mhm.
So in this case, it's like first a lot of vocabulary and some grammar, and then it's racing like more vocabulary, more grammar. Because if they know the grammar but they don't have the vocabulary, they can speak. They can develop their ideas. They have the ideas
Exactly.
here, but they don't know how to say. So this is
Well,
the way that vocabulary and some grammar, and then pictures. I use a lot of pictures for them to analyze them. It's not just that they answer a question. It's what can you tell me about this picture? What can you see? What can't you see? So, for
yeah,
example, you can see the weather, you can
yeah. This
see the feelings.
this is the really attractive way, and all the time, communicate with them in every single moment. You didn't want to distract for any single moments, so that's why you have a lot of students from different part of world, and you convey your message so easy when they are still connect with you. That's amazing. Okay, carry on.
Yes. And also, as I told you before, I ask them about their hobbies, about their family, and I have a great memory to remember those things. So if I have a class with a student who has three sisters, for example, and two dogs, I can ask something related to them.
Mm,
So when they hear that at the first time, they feel because remember, and it's not something important for the rest of the world, but I am interested. I asked him, "Oh, but what about your sister Joanna? Is she
mm,
at school in this moment, or is she doing this, or does she like this? And what is your relationship with her?" So they feel confident to speak about it.
that's amazing.
So I,
Amazing.
I try to create bonds.
Yeah, so
Yes.
really amazing. You create a connection and so close connection with your students, and all the time you ask several questions about his life, about his family member. Even they have a dog or some other animals at home, and they share his name with you. And all the time you ask a question. That's really amazing. And you push them. They communicate with you in English level. That's really amazing. That's really essential for students and for you. They enhance our English level. That's really amazing. So in the last, we have just only few minutes. What's your advice for those students they want to enroll in your online academy? How they join? So what your advice or what's your structure for those people?
First of all, the desire to learn, because it's not the same when you hire someone to teach you something because you need it, but you don't like it. So it's the desire to learn something new. So if I want to learn to cook, for example, it doesn't work because I don't like to cook. So it's like, oh, okay, I am going to take the class because I have to, but I don't like it. So it doesn't work well. So in this case, the desire to learn something new is the main idea in this case. and then being responsible enough for your own knowledge, because I can give you the tools, but if you don't use the tools, it doesn't work. You can have the level, but you can use it. You can communicate because you just have the knowledge here, but you can't get it out. So this is the thing. The desire to learn, the responsibility for your own language, and also accept challenges. Accept challenges. So you must get out of your comfort zone.
Comfort zone, exactly. Totally agree with you. You must have to set a goal in your life and you must have to push yourself. All the time, people shouldn't like to push yourself. And if you set a one goal in life, so definitely every morning you are thinking about that goal. Sometime when you are sleepy or laying on the bed and you wake up suddenly. So definitely that time also you are thinking about that goal. So that's the way of the success, in my opinion. Well, thank you so much, Blanca, for your time and for your that's important conversation. That's really essential for me and definitely for my viewers also. And thank you once again for your time. Bye bye from my side.
Oh, thank you so much for the invitation. And as I was asking you the first time that you contacted me, I didn't know how did you met me, but it was through Facebook, so we can connect through Facebook all over the world. So thank you so much for your time, and congratulations for the great job that you are doing, sharing this kind of conversations, so you can help other people to challenge themselves to say, I can do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.